Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Gala, and just before we do, we're going to peek over at Bitcoin, see what's going on with that first, because it's been a bad boy recently. Bad girl, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's not cool. No one really likes it. It's just this sporadic up and down behavior. It's really interesting to see because it's as I marked earlier in one of my previous reviews, it's varying about 6% plus or minus every 5 to 10 hours. So it's kind of difficult to gauge. It's really screwing with a lot of altcoins right now. Unfortunately, a lot of positions we have open as a community, it keeps, anytime they try to make any type of improvement, they just keep getting held down by Bitcoin. So that's the only problem that we're seeing is a lot of these coins right now, including Gala, is reliant on Bitcoin's success, right? If Bitcoin drops, these are going to drop too. It's just no other way around it. Even if they're really good, strong fundamentals and they have great potential, we're seeing that happen more often than not right now. So we almost have reds across the board with a few exceptions. If you see this here, there's majority red versus a couple of greens here and there, but ultimately we're seeing a lot of red behavior here on the charts, and it's because of this. So just keep that in mind. But here's another thing to understand too. We've got the simple moving average on the 4-hour chart working as a nice strong support level. That's excellent news. We've also got a resistance here potentially at around 61,000 for the 200-day simple moving average. But if you know anything about trading or just in general moving averages, you see the price come up inevitably, should push the price up. We also have this price coming down for the 200, and this creates what is referred to as a golden cross. That is a very big catalyst to push the price action up higher. So hypothetically, we could see that within the next week, that golden cross come to fruition. So just bear in mind, that's kind of trending towards that, so to speak. So those are really good things. So I'm speculating that we're going to see Bitcoin be above 61,000 within the next 7 days. That's my anticipation. Also note too, we have 61,000 as another major resistance level here for the 1-day, 50-day simple moving average, at least on the 1-day chart, right? So we got the 1-day chart telling us the 50-day simple moving average is a resistance, and we've also got the 200-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart working as a resistance too. So again, 61 is a very strong resistance level. There's also the most amount of volume accumulation there as well, creating that ceiling, so to speak. Right. So we're not on the doghouse yet, but it's great to see Bitcoin a little bit back on track here. But there's still a significant amount of fear in the market, and that's causing mostly red candles across the board. And that's causing a problem right now. So just so you know, that's the likely catalyst, the reason why good coins right now, you're like surprised, why is everything on sale today? Well, that's because Bitcoin can't pull its head out of its ass and significantly figure out what's going on, right? It's jumping up and down. It's not great, but it is what it is, right? So just so you know, that's kind of what's going on. All right, let's move on to Gala. And just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I love trading and I love teaching people how to trade. Those are the two favorite things in my life. And I can tell you that I'm doing this full time as well. And it's in the last 15 years of trading, it's been an amazing journey. And it creates financial freedom. It's a really awesome thing. And I like to provide that for other people or help them get to that point, right? So the whole point of these videos is help you learn to become a better trader, more self-sufficient. I have a trading community as well, if that might help you get a leg up. We have more spots available tomorrow as of December 1st, open enrollment. So check that out in your own time. Now, looking at Gala here, we can kind of see some obvious things. We got the major Fibonacci retracement level here at 0.5. That's a pretty common, very strong center, basically baseline. Anytime you have a significant increase of just say 100%, it'll almost always come back down to 50% in the long run. So that's why Fibonacci retracement at 0.5 is a very common number. And what that does, that puts us right about $6.18 for Gala. In other words, the price is pretty much trending right around 618, 619 right now. So if we can get that 1-day candlestick to close here in about 2 hours, we'll be looking fairly decent to have that likely be the bottom. Now, granted, it could fluctuate some. We might even see the price come down to 60, maybe 58 cents, but we should be in pretty good shape here moving forward based on that sentiment alone. That's a proven very strong support level. You can see 1, 2, 3 days out of, actually no, 4 if you count today. 4 out of the last 5 trading days, it hasn't broken below that yet. And that's a pretty good sign. And the only reason why we're here is based on Bitcoin dropping very hard, very fast in the recent, most recent, 48 hours, if you will. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, but this is not terrible. We're still over 70 on the RSI too, so hopefully we can get that bounce, which is equivalent to, again, $6 and roughly 18, 19 cents. So still okay. We're really not in dire straits by any means. Try not to overcomplicate or concern yourself, because here's some cool stuff coming up. We got the 50-day simple moving average working its way on up, which will provide a likely support level here soon. Okay, it's pretty common for the 50 to work as a strong support level, and it's less common in coins like this that it significantly increase for the 50-day simple moving average to catch up in time. And right here, here it is right here now. It should work out very well. Okay, so I like the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart. It's probably the most, I would say, that the strongest indication of a a good support and resistance level outside of specific volume weighted average price on shorter time frames, etc. But it's good stuff, right? So simply put, we're looking good there. If you look down below here for RSI, we're not looking great here, but this is not over yet, right? In other words, this candlestick hasn't closed yet. We've still got a handful of other things that need to happen. If we can get Bitcoin to stabilize for a couple more days, then we will likely see Gala bounce back. This is going to be turning more so into a longer trade. I don't think we're going to see Gala be testing its all-time high in the immediate near future, but I still think that's possible once we hit our bottom. And according to this, the RSI is telling us we haven't hit that yet. Okay, because again, that did not hold as a support level. It's potentially working as a resistance, but bear this in mind. All that really means is that we're likely seeing on the chart, the resistance level is about 67 cents. And I think I misspoke earlier now because I said 618. It was 61.8 cents. I apologize. 61.8. I get my decimal places in the wrong point sometimes. Right, so anyways, enough about that. You get what I'm saying here. So yeah, the support level here is about 61, basically 61 cents. And we're looking at roughly about 67 cents as a major resistance. Okay, just to throw it out there to kind of clarify that. So what I'm getting at here is simply put, we're looking at 61 cents as a strong support, but the RSI is telling us that we have a resistance at 67 cents. Okay, that's going to basically be the case. So let's go ahead and move on to the 1-hour chart and just quickly identify that and go from here on the cloud. See where we're at in the cloud. No surprise, we're on the downside for the cloud. But keep this in mind, with this lagging span coming into play, it should likely intersect with the price action, which basically implies if you were to have a short position, you'd want to close your short position, right? So that tells me that we are nearing the bottom for Gala, okay? And the reason why is because you typically see a reversal when the price travels into basically when the lagging span intersects with the price action. Usually the price comes back the other way. So that's essentially what you're looking at there. So that's good stuff, ultimately. I know normally you'd be like, oh, price is below the cloud, it's not a good sign. That just kind of tells us we should expect to see a reversal here soon. Another thing I can see here as well, with TD sequential, you can see it counts down to a 9, and then another 9 again. A lot of coins have this pattern right now based on the way that Bitcoin is behaving. So any coin that's somewhat over-exaggerated is seeing like this double reversal pattern. Because what happens is right here, you see the one up to a 9 here. In other words, it's like, okay, cool, consolidation comes back up, right to a 9 again. Sandbox has this exact same pattern. So it hits 9 twice, right? We got these 2 higher highs. And then it comes down here, hits a low of 9, consolidates, another low of 9, and consolidates its support. So my speculation here is the fact that we are going to likely see the price reverse to the upside soon because it's reached a state of exhaustion, not only once, but twice. And it's consolidating at support each time. So you see we consolidate at support up here, and we're consolidating at support here. Now I'm sure your question is like, okay, well, why isn't it going to leg down any further? Well, main reason why I don't think that'll happen is because 0.5 on Fibonacci retracement is a pretty consistent support level. That's the common place for the price to kind of relax and collect its thought, for lack of better terms, when the price increases significantly like it did, right? Because again, Gala increased somewhere in the range of about 105% in no less than 1 trading day. In fact, we took a lot of profit right here as a community in this time frame. Now, right here, when we got the Ichimoku Cloud breakthrough, it was supposed to have continued, but it didn't. It got resisted out because Bitcoin sold off. Again, something to understand. That's why we look at Bitcoin first. So I'm not blaming this on Bitcoin, but it's totally Bitcoin's fault, right? We got to acknowledge that though, and it's okay that that happens because this just gives us a better buying opportunity to dollar cost average closer to a lower price action or price point, and then effectively get bigger gains when the price increases. So that's just kind of something that you want to consider doing right now. If you have an open position, maybe consider adding a little bit more if you have the option. And if you truly believe that Gala is going to continue much higher, then I would recommend adding to your position. I personally believe we're going to see $1 plus this year here from Gala. I think it's just a matter of when. I think that once we get Bitcoin out of the doghouse, about 60, 61,000, we can close on that one-day candlestick at 60, 61. We'll be in very, very good shape to see Gala come back because there's a tremendous amount of fear and uncertainty right now in the market. and that's trickling into these coins here that are a bit on the over-exaggerated side. When I say over-exaggerated, just they grew really fast in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Like most of these coins are just out of this world, significantly increased there. You know, you look at the 1 week chart and they're just like, 3 straight bars up, right? That is cause for correction. That happens all the time. So this is not a concern. This is not something I'm super worried about, even though we have a position that is higher than where the price is at right now as a community. I feel comfortable in knowing that we're going to see the price recover eventually. It just may not happen immediately, and we need to be patient. We need to steel ourselves, and this is where the true traders shine, the ones that don't bail out in the face of danger, right? You got to kind of hold through the storms sometimes, right? You can't just bail and turn around. Again, different story if you're day trading versus swing trading. There's a whole different mindset there. I'm just trying to let you know that it's not that terrible right now. Gala's holding up very well, and I think it's at a point where it's probably going to continue to progress back upwards very soon. But again, if Bitcoin drops down to 52,000 tomorrow, none of this matters. I hate to say it that way, but that's just the way that the market is right now. It's very concerned if Bitcoin will recover. I'm not concerned. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin for 75 to 100,000 easily this year. I think that's very likely, but it'll probably push into next year too, because I don't really see 40, 50% from Bitcoin this year based on the way it's been behaving lately. Okay, but that being said, still bullish on the macro for Bitcoin. We're just going to expect to see a bit more consolidation over the next week. So I hope we found benefit here. So sorry I just rambled on here for a little too long, but I hope you can disseminate some positive information here, and learn to just use best practice. Make sure you always set 3 profit targets, set a stop loss. Unless you're swing trading, you truly believe in the product, don't worry about a stop loss, but always have a goal in mind before you take a trade. So that's all I got here for you today. Feel free to consider joining my Patreon community, and just like and subscribe if you did find benefit. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one, likely tomorrow. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.